We are Makilala TV, the first Filipino-American TV talk show in the New York metro area. Get to know us as we talk to the community leaders, innovators, advocates, and emerging artists who affect Filipino-American life.
Hello, my name is Christina Pastor. Welcome to Makilala. Today we are honored to have as our guest Ambassador Senen Mangalile, the new Philippine Consul General in New York. Before coming to New York, Congen Senen served as minister at the Philippine Embassy in Bern, Switzerland. And before that, he was Deputy Chief of Mission and Consul General in London. How he became a diplomat and eventually met Queen Elizabeth, we will find out later. Within days, Congen Senen has charmed the Filipino community with his folksy sense of humor. Easygoing and funny is how people describe him. I heard he speaks impeccable Tagalog to the community, which is not surprising for someone who hails from Bulacan, Malolos and Baliwag specifically. Yay, Baliwag! Congen Senen is a career diplomat. He has made the efficient delivery of consular services to Filipinos abroad a hallmark of his diplomatic career. He is the consummate Consul General. On behalf of my co-hosts, Rochelle Ocampo and Jen Fuhrer, and our guest co-host, Liesel Congen, welcome to Makilala, Congen. And welcome back, Liesel. Congen, what was the reaction? What was your reaction when you heard that you were being assigned to New York? You've only been in Bern for about 6 months. Didn't you think it was too soon to move?
Well, my first reaction was, I better tell my landlord right away. And unfortunately, I was bound by my contract, which is for 1 year. So I'm continuing to pay rent for some place that I'm not living in right now. So as you can imagine, so it came as a total surprise. But at the same time, there's this sense of excitement that I will be once again engaging with the large Filipino community, Filipino diaspora.
You know, I was thinking maybe your reaction would be, why me? why not the others? Anyway, I think Rochelle has a series of fun questions for you, Congen.
Hi, Rochelle.
Yeah. Yes, welcome to Makilala. We're so excited to have you. I do have some exciting rapid fire questions. So these questions are meant to be fun and just to really get to know you, our new Congen. So are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Are you an early bird person or night owl?
Night owl.
Lumpia Shanghai or lumpia sariwa?
Shanghai.
Are you into comedies or suspense?
Suspense.
What are you watching right now?
Family Feud.
Okay. What is one movie that you will watch again and again if you see it playing on TV?
The Godfather.
Okay. Is there a special landmark in New York City that you'd like to see?
Peter Luger.
Oh, yes, see and eat, I imagine. Okay. And last thing is open-ended. What is one thing that you wish people knew about you?
That I do not eat hard-boiled egg and bean sprouts.
Oh,
Good to know.
Wow. It's good
Is
to
that-
know.
is that a diet? Is there a reason for that?
That purely preference, and
Oh,
I'll
okay.
talk about it. One of these days.
Okay, so there's no medical reason.
No medical reason.
Yeah,
So
I don't
Liesel?
like I don't like bean sprouts either, but yes, good to know. Well, when we take you out or when we all go out to eat at Peter Luger's, we won't go for bean sprouts.
Hopefully, there's none there.
Liesel, you have a question?
Yes, so Congen, what are your top priorities in extending support to the Filipino community in the East Coast?
Hi, Liesel. Thank you for that question. My first priority is, of course, ensuring that there are more economic opportunities between the U.S. East Coast and the Philippines, and pursuing those opportunities together with the team who works with me at the consulate. So that's the first priority. We have to engage and ensure that our engagement will be translated into tangible economic activities between the U.S. East Coast and the Philippines.
Mhm.
Well, secondly, is I would like to engage with all Filipino American organizations in the diaspora, and to ensure that we are working together at some common goals and common objectives. We can approach those objectives our own way, but the end goal should be the same. And thirdly, I would like our services to be more responsive, more timely, more caring to all our communities, to all the sectors that we serve, and to ensure that I would like our team to be working more closely together as a team and as a family, engaging with all members of the Filipino diaspora in this part of the United States.
Congen, you've met with some community organizations and leaders since you arrived. What are they telling you about their concerns?
Well, a lot of them are concerned about whether the consulate will continues to support their activities as
Mhm.
it has done before. And I always assure them that for as long as we are able to extend our support, government is always limited by two things: budget and regulations.
Mhm.
Within the ambit of those parameters, then I always tell them, you have the Philippine Consulate General's full support for everything that you do, as
Mhm.
especially because we see that those are relevant projects and programs that you pursue.
Yeah. Rochelle?
Well, when I was thinking of like the concerns that people had when they were approaching you, I would imagine that some organizations may have come to you maybe about their concerns about the attacks of on the and Asian American community. Do you have plans on addressing that?
Well, curiously, it was a member of the mayor's office who brought that up first with me, and I'm referring to the commissioner for immigration. And we agreed to work together to give victims the assurance that they have the full support and backing of both the office of the consul general and the office of the mayor in pursuing their cases, as long as they would agree to cooperate with law enforcement authorities. We also mentioned that basically the biggest source of those attacks, those incidents, is mental health issues, and
Mhm.
we know that the pandemic has messed up with a lot of a lot of people, and so we agreed to also come up with activities that would support mental health in the community.
Mhm.
Oh,
Liesel?
that's very
Oh,
reassuring to
sorry.
hear.
Mhm.
Thank you, Conjen.
Yes,
Liesel?
that's a great approach. With regard to the issue of undocumented Filipinos in the US, I'm wondering if you are wanting to extend support to them, and if so, how would you do that?
Well, the consulate has always extended support to the undocumented, but unfortunately, not in the one thing that they really need, which is a visa and amnesty.
Mhm.
For the years that they've been here, that one we can work together through our elected representatives in the U.S. government, because it's in the gift of the U.S. government to give. It is not within the purview of the Philippine Consulate General. Having said that, however, the same level of professional service that we extend to somebody with legal status in the United States is being extended as well to somebody who does not have the legal status to stay. So, gusto ko pong sabihin sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan na hindi maayos ang papeles na wala po kaming kaugnayan sa US immigration at kami
Yeah.
po ay nagbibigay ng parehong serbisyo sa lahat ng Pilipino because kayo po ay aming citizen. Yun po ang tangi naming tinitingnan sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo sa inyo. So ang konsulado po ang inyong tahanan and you are always welcome to come by and have a chat with us.
I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about your role as the Philippine Consulate General. Anyway, Congen, there's some Filipinos, there's some people who feel that the case of your predecessor was quote unquote mishandled by the DFA, and there was no announcement that he has left. So I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
Well, one thing that everybody should know about the DFA is just like in the military, we have the same sense of mission, and we derive our mission from what we call exigencies of the service. So that means you are on call 24/7. You are ready to go where you are needed, and it is up to the management of the DFA to deploy us uh, as they see the need and the reason for such deployment. So I am speaking from experience because when I arrived in the United Kingdom in 2013, after just a month, they sent me an order to go to Turkey
Oh.
to temporarily head our embassy there because we were, between ambassadors at that time, and they needed somebody, with some seniority to continue the engagement with the Turkish government. So my wife and daughter just arrived a week before, and I had to leave them behind to go to Turkey. So it happens in the service, not just with Congen Elmer and myself. When you talk about Congen Elmer being suddenly deployed elsewhere, you also have to think about me being deployed to New York. You know,
That's clear.
Right.
in the same context. But it happens in our service because, as I said, we are like soldiers. We can be sent by command to wherever our skill sets, as you may think of it, is needed. So it will not be fair to the DFA to say that it was mishandled. Perhaps it was not communicated well, and so I think in the coming days, the learning from this experience from this episode is to ensure that the thing is communicated well, and but again, it's management decision. It happens. It's normal in our career.
Rochelle?
I wanted to actually learn more about your family. So you said wife and two daughters. Can you tell us more about how you and your family spend time together?
Well, I have two daughters, so together with my wife, I am outnumbered. The good thing about having two daughters is, there are days when you feel like the king. They pamper you. And certain days you feel like the chauffeur. You have to take them to to play
Yeah.
to, wherever they need to go, and things like that.
Yeah.
But, it's a very close knit group we are because as you can see, we have been together when they were growing up. My wife and I were both teachers at a local high school, Catholic high school in
Mm-hmm.
Malolos, when the girls were growing up. And it was only after that I joined the Department of Foreign Affairs and got deployed elsewhere. But
Yeah.
when they were little, those two girls were always with me wherever I went. So
Yeah.
Oh,
In
And
in,
are they
in
here in New York?
uh, my first daughter is already working with our city hall in Malolos City in Bulacan. So
mm,
she cannot be my dependent anymore. So is my second daughter. She's
mm,
beyond the age when she could be my dependent at post, and
uh,
she's on third year of nursing,
mhm,
the University of the Philippines in Manila.
yeah.
So they have to stay back home while Yen and I are here in New York. But
Yeah.
they would, of course, visit us whenever the opportunity presents itself.
In America, you'd have been called a girl dad because you have two daughters. Anyway, Lisel.
yes. So I have close friends from Bulacan, and we have an inside joke that it's like Republic of Bulacan, right? And I even have one college barkada who went to Immaculate Conception, and he's very proud of that. So how do you stay close to your Bulacan, your roots?
It's very easy, Lizelle, because I still live there.
Ah.
Even when I was very busy at the Office of Consular Affairs at the DFA.
Mhm.
My last post at the DFA was as Assistant Secretary for Consular Affairs, and it's quite an intense and demanding post. But I still uh, looked forward to going home to Malolos using the then free Skyway Stage 3, and waking up in the morning surrounded by trees with a lot of birds chirping, and
Mhm.
that sort of gave me energy to face the work day ahead, and coming back in the evening and driving through quiet streets, that sort of gave me some therapy, post work. So I still am very much rooted in Bulacan, in
Mhm.
Baliwag, and Malolos, and many towns and cities within where I have a lot of friends. I hope your barkada who was a student at Immaculate Conception, didn't doesn't remember me as a terror teacher. I wasn't.
He's still in
We couldn't
Bulacan.
imagine you as a terror teacher. Anyway, Congen, what got you into the foreign service? Was there somebody who inspired you? Was there an incident that got you interested in diplomacy?
Yeah, it's really what I would call fate or destiny, if you may. I had a classmate in the seminary. I went to the seminary for high school and college. I had a classmate whose brother and sister were both working at the Department of Foreign Affairs
Okay.
while I was teaching. So every year they would tell me, you should take the exam, and they would actually bring me those paper application forms
Oh
for me to
wow.
fill out, and I didn't, because I was at the earlier stage of my teaching. I was still thinking of going back to the seminary and becoming a
Mm-hmm.
priest. Until I met the
Your
math
wife.
teacher who applied
Oh,
to be
I
part.
thought until you met your wife.
Yeah,
Sorry about
I didn't go back anymore. So when I was with that Catholic high school, an opportunity came up when I became career eligible for the civil service. To join government, and since my father had been with the government for most of his career, I decided to transfer to the then government bank, which was Philippine National Bank.
that. Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, I went through the process of rising through the ranks until I hit the proverbial glass ceiling. I will not be promoted anymore. And in government, you will not, your salary will not increase if you are not promoted. You know. So that's when I decided to take the exam. I didn't even
Exam.
file a leave of absence. I just called in sick on the day of the exam.
Ah,
And then the second one stage of it, the formal dinner. I was even there's number coding in the Philippines, and you cannot use your vehicle. So I was in a taxi about to run late, and just lucky breaks allowed me to get to the venue on time. So all of those small things, I think, conspired together to bring me to the DFA, and I'm now on my 26th year of
wow.
Wow.
being
Yeah.
Wow.
part of it. And if I get to live my life again, I probably would change a few things, but not the fun journey I had joining the DFA.
So, Conjan, when you were at PND, were you already married? Did you already have a family at the time?
Yes, when I
Ah,
joined
okay.
DFA, I had one daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one was born right after.
Yeah.
So I still had a lot of time in my hands then as a newbie, a cadet, as we call them. Anybody who joins DFA after the exam is called a cadet for 1 year. So
Yeah. So I'm curious about how you were raised in Bulacan by your parents. What were the values instilled in you when you were growing up?
oh, thank you for that question. I would credit my father for my easygoing personality.
Yeah.
He
Me
was
too.
he was uh, the first version of the vaccine providers in in our town in Baliwag. He was the one who went to the schools to administer vaccines as they became necessary. Uh,
Was he a doctor?
no, he was working with the local what is called then as the rural health unit of
Ah, okay.
Oh,
the
Yeah.
municipality of Baliwag.
Yeah.
And his service going to the different schools to administer vaccines was a bicycle. I used
Oh,
to ride behind him in that bicycle, and whenever there's a new vaccine to administer, I will be his guinea pig. He will uh, he will inject me first, so that and I have to show the students that I'm still smiling.
Oh,
wow.
It's not
oh,
painful.
really?
Don't worry. It's just like being bitten by an ant.
Yeah.
That's my part of.
Oh,
And I would ride with him in the morning when he goes to the local bakery, the Pancho Bakery. You might
Yeah.
Christina, you might remember. Uh, to buy pandesal, so I got to know his friends. I got to know people.
Yeah.
That I think instilled in me the value of actually talking to people instead
Yeah.
of forming preconceived notions.
Yeah.
You actually get to talk to them, and that's when you discover who they are, and what they need, and what their aspirations are. My mother, on the other hand, was the strict one. uh,
Mm-hmm.
and she balanced her strictness, her sense of what is right and wrong, which was very strong and strongly instilled in all of us, her children. She balanced that with her delicious cooking. So you will
Oh.
get spanked for misbehaving, but you will be fed afterward something very delicious.
oh
I
my
just
goodness.
I just remember the small baliwag pandesal.
Pandesal, yes,
Yeah, the miniature baliwag pandesal.
that's right.
Anyway, Rochelle.
no, I want to get back to really your work here in New York, and what do you really expect from Philam organizations as you work with them?
I understand that for every 10 persons in a city, there will be 15 organizations, and
Yeah.
all of them would
Wow.
want
Yes,
to be president
yes.
of those organizations. I understand that fully. I get that in my years in the service. But one request I would put forward is let's find ways of working together.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to form one super body and you are all there and working together. There's no need for that.
Yeah.
Continue with what you're doing, but for certain things where unity and cooperation is required for us to get what we want, then let's work
Work
together, and
together.
we will be working together with you. We will be on the ground with you.
I'm sorry, Congen. Oh my God. I hate to look at the clock, especially when we're having a nice conversation like this one. But I think we're being told to wrap up. Congen, do you have a short message for the community before we go?
Well, salamat po sa mainit yung pagtanggap sa akin. Pagpatuloy po natin ang pagtutulungan at narito po ang konsulado para patuloy na maglingkod sa inyo. Salamat po.
Thank you, Congen. There you have it, our new Consul General in New York, Senen Mangalile. He and his family are still getting to know the Big Apple, and we were excited to show them our studio at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, but unfortunately, the extreme Arctic weather condition prevented it from happening. Thank you, Congen, for joining us. We would also like to thank our guest co-host, Liesel Corredor, Attorney Liz, for filling in for Jan, who is currently traveling. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching.